Exactly. On most cameras, there's a switch on the side, or there's somewhere in your menu. You've got to take a look at your camera's manual. Just look up manual exposure, and it'll tell you how to do it.
That happens a lot if you shoot outdoors, because you tend to have backgrounds that are sky.
That's right. The sky is very bright, and then people, you know, we're not made of light, whereas the sky pretty much is as far as your camera's concerned.
Patrick's made of light.
That's true.
So now, you said don't use zoom, but you said even more so, don't use digital zoom.
That's right.
What's that?
Digital zoom is something professional cameras don't even have because it's such a hokey feature. What it is once you've maxed out your zoom and you've zoomed in all the way on somebody,
then
what happens, oh, he's scared of this. Then what happens is the camera will automatically start magnifying the picture.
But you get these big blotchy pixels kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It's just enlarging the pixels.
It's not optical zoom, it's enhanced.
It's like taking a photo on your computer and zooming in, you know, clicking the zoom button, and eventually, of course, you start seeing the image break up, the pixels, all that
Well, you
junk.
might be tempted, you know, you buy a camcorder nowadays that says 120x. You know, I can zoom 120 times.
Not really.
Not if you want to look
What you want to look up is what's the optical zoom.
Optical zoom, not digital zoom.
And first thing you want to do when you buy the camera, look up how do I turn off the digital zoom.
So you don't do it by
there,
accident.
turn it off.
Finally, don't break the time code. Now, not all cameras have time code.
Pretty much all do these days because everybody's shooting on mini DV.
DV does.
That's right. Mini DV has time code. Your camera, it's like an address. When you start shooting, the video that you shoot can have an individualized address.
Right.
And the problem happens.
That breaks the time code?
Well, what breaks the time code is when you play past what you've already recorded, and the screen turns blue, and then you start recording again, it starts over from 0 again.
So you'll have 2 different frames with the same time code.
Or 3 or 4.
And that's going to mess you up.
Well, then when you go to edit it, and I know you're showing people how to use Final Cut Pro and everything else, then what you've got is the computer gets very confused because you've got 5 different frames on the same tape that all have the same address.
I don't know. Man, wasn't that fun? He was such a trip. What a great guy. And had some great tips on getting you started.
We all need a place to get started. Still more coming ahead when we return. TechTV analyst James Kim he's going to tell you the good and bad thing about a bunch of video editing software. Low price stuff. He's going to
Screensavers is presented by OLM.net, 1-800-2-OLM-NET.
OLM.net presents more true tales from the World Wide Web.
At OLM, our web hosting customers say it best.
We started with another hosting company, and they couldn't care less about us.
We're a small business, and OLM treats us like family.
OLM was probably the best business decision we made for Snickerdoodle.com.
Become part of our family. Visit OLM today or call 1-877-2-OLM-NET. Over 200,000 websites. OLM.net.
Hurry into Circuit City today for big savings on all your last-minute gifts. Save on the year's hottest DVDs, CDs, video games, and more. And be sure to pick up a Circuit City gift card, too. Plus, get this 7-inch widescreen portable DVD player for just $199.99. And save $30 on this Sony 3.2 megapixel digital camera, only $269.99 after rebate. Save on all your last-minute gifts today at Circuit City. We're with you.
Dave.
Brian. Are these your consultants?
They're providing an ongoing assessment.
We're on a standardized Dell Linux solution. PowerEdge servers, Intel Xeon processors.
What about assessment? Validation, deployment.
Dell's services are proven and scalable end-to-end. They're customer-centric.
We're more contractually inseparable.
Manage your enterprise for less with the flexibility of Dell products and services. Call or go online today.
Need extra cash? Don't charge it on your credit cards. Get a second mortgage with a no closing cost option from Ditech.com. With the second mortgage, you can consolidate your existing high interest debts, get the cash you need for any purpose, and end up with one low monthly payment. A second mortgage with a no closing cost option is a great idea from Ditech.com. For fast, friendly service, apply online or call 1-800-71-FIX right now.
On the next Invent This, get geared up. A new bike for paraplegics that's hands-on. Then care to take a crack at it?
Are you out of your mind?
This man did and found success. Oysters on the half shell, please. And
3, 2, 1, fire!
Be glad he's not your neighbor, a guy who blows things up in the name of science.
I want to get my name in the history books.
Invent This, tonight at 9, 8 Central, only on TechTV.
So welcome back to our special edition of the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte.
And I'm Patrick Norton. Now today we're going to give you a home video crash course. It's everything you need to know from shooting your video to editing your home movies.
Yeah, no crashing involved.
No.
It's just an instantaneous.
Unless you're videotaping a crash.
Well, that would be good. You know?
We like that.
Now, so far we've covered some great tips for low-budget filmmaking. We got you the right video camera, I hope, and showed you some quick tips on shooting like a pro, you know, lighting and sound. Now that you have all that, the next step is to edit your movie. That means editing software.
Yes, and we got James Kim here, senior tech analyst from the labs. He looked over the best stuff out there. Let's see his picks. Back in the day, video editing actually involved splicing analog film, and then it got, well, you'd only need $80,000 for an Avid system, but now, for under $100, you'd have some great video editing software. James Kim here from the labs. You've been looking at a lot of software, James.
Yeah, we looked at probably 6. We meaning TechTV Labs, but that's really me. So
I came up with like this giant list, and you're like, you're on crack!
Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 weeks to do this, but you know what? I wanted to, you know, actually create a DVD for my family of course, my baby, Penelope. So we're going to see some of that here. But you know what? Capturing video with a camera is really, really fun. But the real creativity comes from the video editing afterwards. When you get it on your hard drive, you know, capture all the clips onto the hard drive. There's so many things you can do to create that story. Moving video, still images, music. In these very actually inexpensive packages.
No, we should point out both Apple and the PC come with a free video editing package.
It's actually become that much of a utility. You know, it's kind of like a God-given right, you know, to be able to edit video. But you know what? While the Apple program iMovie is really great, in fact, it's free. I think it's even worth $99, believe it or not. On the PC side, it's a little, you know, they have a little work to do, so that's why you have all these different programs. Right. So we looked at 5 or 6 programs, and these 3 right here kind of bubbled to the top for different reasons.
Okay.
So this first one right here is the Sony Screen Blast Movie Studio. As you can see by the screen, this is pretty traditional here. I kind of like the preview monitor up above, but it's below here. But otherwise, this is a very stable program. I can drag and drop clips up to this timeline, any of these timelines. As you can see.
But it's pretty. Seems like it's pretty easy to drag stuff around.
You know, it's easy to drag. Everything's very intuitive. When you drag, here's show you down here. This is the rest of the track here. There's the audio track here. Here's some music underneath it. Now this pool right here in the left-hand bottom corner is this is the media pool. This is where all my clips are. I can drag and drop music, images. Here's transitions. I can drag and drop these. They have tons of them. This program actually has more than I've ever seen in any other program. Transitions, video effects. Here's some video effects.
Did Sony get this from the folks at Sonic Foundry that did Vegas Video?
Exactly. Sony actually bought Sonic Foundry, and Vegas Video looks, I mean, this looks extremely similar to Vegas Video. In fact, it's kind of a watered-down version. But check this out. You just drag and drop to whatever you want, and you can have that happen. Now, one thing I really like about this...
Just as painless as iMovie.
Actually, look at the video effects. There are tons of them on this in the left-hand corner right here. Now, if I go to, like, say, let's go to Cookie Cutter, okay? So if I double-click on this or drag and drop it to this clip right here, for example, I can actually play this, and it'll play in this little preview monitor. You can't actually see that right there because it's so dark. Let me stop this. Let me take this over to this one right here. Select that one and then move this here. Okay, here we go. So I can play this and preview it. And this is one of the cool things about this. Once again, I'm not getting it. You have to select the correct clip here.
Oh,
here we go.
Nice.
See that?
So we got like
it's instant rendering, basically. You can take all these different video effects. Yeah, and you can become very creative with this. Now let's move on to the next one. I like this one the best.
Now, Matt, you don't really think of Magix when you think of video editing. You think of like MP3 software.
Actually, you know, audio editing and video editing are very similar. And Magix is a European company that sort of reminds me of a European Sonic Foundry.
Got it.
And as you can see by this, it's very audio-centric, actually. If you look at these, there's a solo, mute for each track. There's even an audio mixer here. Check that out.
That's
pretty cool. But let's get out of this one.
It's got the sort of like European, you know, the software is all dark and mysterious.
So I'm going to start playing this Penelope thing. You can see the title show up here. As you can see on the timeline, there's some fades. This was all very easy for me to do. Now, over here is the clip bin, and all I have to do is actually stop that. I'm going to play each one. If I click on one, it'll automatically play the clip. which is a very convenient feature. If you've got hundreds of clips, it's hard to get through each one of them.
Can you edit the clips inside of there? Or?
You can actually edit by going to the timeline here. That's one of the things about a lower-end video editing. You don't have an extra window to trim clips. So you just go in there and actually trim until you find the spot you want and then go for it. I want to show you the coolest thing about this, though. I'm going to go over to this video effects, okay? And you can do this for transitions, titles, whatever. But look at all the variety here. There's echo, emboss, erosion, and each one is showing the preview on the little window.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, if I pull this erosion, for example, over to this clip, okay? I'm going to play this clip.
Penelope turns into a
Check that out. See, it's kind of eroded there.
Got it.
Now, I'm going to pull another one. Let's say fisheye to that same one. Check that out. Isn't that cool? So instantly, now if I right-click here and I go to Video Edit Effects, check this out. I wanted to show you this. This is why I interrupted you. Look at this huge control panel right here, video control. This is from a $100 program.
Right.
And I can take this stuff and actually tweak it in real time. All this stuff I can add whirlpool effects. So this is really a program for like the creative. I wouldn't want to do that to my daughter for real.
Right.
But this is what
But
you
if
can
you
do
want to
with
get out of control for $99, this is going to be about as out of control as you're going to get.
This is so out of control. Like,
So it's
just
Magic Movie Edit Pro 2004.
Exactly.
We got one last one before we go.
One last one. Let's blow through this one. This is from actually Roxio, which bought MGI. So this is Video Wave Movie Creator. They have a $100 version. This is actually $50.
Cheap.
And I chose this one because this is one of the easiest editing. Actually, you don't even do the editing.
So if you don't want to think about editing, you just want to put some stuff together.
Here's a feature called Cinemagic, okay? And I can name this thing and call it Cinemagic 2. Here are my clips right here. So all I do is drag and drop all my clips that I want here. Let's pick 3 of them. Go to next. Type in, let's see, select audio. Let's just drag and drop this one in there, okay? This is a MP3 that I selected. Go to next. Okay, actually, it's not going to let me do that. But it'll
actually edit the 3 clips together?
It'll actually stick all the clips in a specific template. So it could be like an action thing, which has really fast cuts. It could be like a nostalgic, sort of slow, sort of panning.
So this is like the ultimate lazy editing
It's sort of
tool.
like a Cuisinart for video editing.
Cool.
You stick the clips in there, the music in there, and it creates a movie for you. And some people love that. Some people don't like that. I don't like it because I like to go in there and really handle every little detail, which is what Magix and Sony program will do. But this movie studio is pretty cool, actually, for
Let me see if I got this straight. Screen Blast from Sony, great for if you're looking for a classic editing tool with lots of features.
Lots of features, very stable.
Magic Movie Edit Pro if you want to get nuts and go crazy and just do some really wild effects. Roxio Video Wave Movie Creator, kind of the
complete
sort of passive editor.
You know, actually, after the movie is created, you can actually go back in and edit. So that's
you like
cool.
all 3 of them?
I like all 3 of them for different people.
6 packages total?
We looked at actually 5. Go to the web, check out what I say about each one. There's actually one I hated, so.
If you want to find out which one James hated,
yeah.
and it's written down here, but I won't tell you, you're going to have to go to the website and read James's article. TechTV Labs Senior Technical Analyst James Kim. Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
Actually, James convinced me. I'm going to try. I think I'm going to Sony Screen Blast.
It looks pretty good, yeah.
Cool stuff.
Well, whatever software you use, now that you've got it, you've got to learn about some common mistakes that every beginning editor makes.
And some of us make over and over and over.
we brought in professional editor Diana J. Brody. She's got some helpful tips for you coming up when the Screensavers Home Video Crash Course continues. Stay tuned.
Wednesday nights on TechTV. At 9, secrets, lies, and worldwide deceit.
This is mass poisoning of the population.
The truth awaits you. Conspiracies. Then at 9:30, sex has found a new partner, technology. And together, they've changed the world. Wired for sex. Dark, sexy, and extremely dangerous. Conspiracies and Wired for Sex. Wednesday night starting at 9, 8 Central on TechTV.
We're extending our amazing 5 free CDs giveaway. Even we couldn't believe how popular our Video Professor Software Savers offer would be. The phones have been ringing off the hook, stock has been flying off the shelves, but we want everyone to get a free pack of software. So we're extending this amazing offer, giving you time to call in right now and get a great pack of software for the whole family free. These self-help and informational CDs contain a wealth of knowledge that no home should be without. Take a look at what you get free from household names you know and trust, like Home Depot, Rand McNally, American Medical Association, and more. From wallpapering and plumbing to building cabinets, let the Home Depot experts show you how to do all your home improvements. Then create your own home on your PC. Repaint, add a new addition, and see it all in a 3D walkthrough. Create customized, printable travel maps of anywhere in North America. Plan trips ahead of time, add points of interest, restaurant stops, and more. You'll never get lost again. Research almost anything in seconds. History, maps, nature, science, geography, trivia, and more. And for medical help for your family, turn to the Family Medical Guide, covering everything from minor scratches and burns to emergency assistance with CPR, shock, bleeding, and heart attacks. It's essential for any home. That's over $100 in free software that turns all this into this. All you pay is $6.95 for shipping and processing. It really is free. Video Professor gives you all this free because we know once you see how these CDs improve your life, you'll come back to us for more great software. You have no contracts to sign and no commitments. Plus, as an added bonus, if you call right now, we'll also throw in an extra free gift. This free typing tutorial uses fun games and tests to improve your typing skills. This special extended offer can't last forever, so make sure you don't miss out. It's free. It's risk-free. Our friendly operators are standing by, so call right now to get your free software pack. To get your free software pack and free bonus CD, you must call now.
Call 1-800-478-5028.
Welcome back to this special home video crash course edition of the Screensavers. Now, you've shot your video. You have purchased your editing software. Now, you got to cut that stuff up, a little editing, but there are so many things, mistakes that novices do. Professional editor Diana J. Brody stopped by to share with us the top 5 most common editing mistakes. Take a look. We're going to do the 5 biggest mistakes people make, right?
Right. A lot of times people are so wrapped up in the technology and how to work the clips and everything that they make some simple oversights, and also because they don't notice when they're watching films, it's all together and all for them, and they haven't really dissected it. They haven't had a chance to dissect it.
Right. As a pro, when you do this as a pro, you learn, you study, and people tell you these things.
Right.
But we're not. We're untrained. We're untutored. So teach us.
I will instruct you now.
Number 1, sound.
Number 1, sound. It's sound effects that maybe they see a fire engine go by.
Right.
That might not have been having the sound effect of the fire engine at the time, but you put it in later.
You should add it later.
That's right. It might just have been driving by, but you can put the wah, 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 wah,
brings it up.
and then bam. It's a whole much better
picture. Show us a clip.
Here's a clip from Gothica, which I think you're going to be seeing on TechTV soon, the interview. And listen to the sound.
Now, a lot of that added later.
Yes, much of that added later. There's music, there's screaming, there's car noise. I guarantee that car noise was added later.
Yeah, because there's no way. And I guess that's another thing. We talked about miking and everything, but you're never going to be able to get all the ambient sounds. You're really more interested in what the person's saying.
That's right.
So you're going to add that later.
You can put those ambient sounds in later, and some ambient sounds you can make to sound like other ambient sounds. You don't have to have the exact name of the ambient sound on your sound effects CD.
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah,
that's the art of it.
That's the creative part.
Now, also, it's good to have some, you say, covering shots. What's a covering shot?
Covering shot. Well, a lot of times an amateur editor will have an interview with someone, such as we have here with Halle Berry.
Just a talking head
Just a talking head, and she'll be talking about something, and then after she's done, an amateur editor would then show what she's talking about, but you can marry those two.
So you,
can have...
So you said like you'd have a fireman talking about how to use a fire extinguisher.
Right, and then an amateur editor might have him talk about the whole thing and then show the fire. But you can have those together at the same time, and also have the sound of the fire extinguisher under low while the guy is talking about it.
It makes a richer thing.
Oh, yeah, it makes the whole palette a lot richer.
That's called let's see a covering shot.
That's called cover footage.
Yeah, cover footage.
I got to a point where I was able to leave it at the set after a couple of weeks, but then I started having nightmares. You know,
and there's the nightmare.
And you still hear Halle Berry talking about her experience.
That's a fact.
Now she's back. Right, and
so you don't have to dump out the sound of the
No, you can have it nice, bring it down nice and low, and have it concurrent.
Sometimes they call that B-roll.
That's called B-roll. Halle Berry would be considered the A-roll. If you have a voiceover, you put your voiceover in. That's also considered A-roll.
There's A-roll and B-roll.
That's right.
B-roll's the secondary stuff.
B-roll is your cover footage.
Got it. Now, one thing that all these programs, whether you're using a big professional program like this, Final Cut Pro, or iMovie, or Video Studio, they all have all these transitions.
Yeah, transitions. Having a huge palette of transitions for an amateur editor is much like a 13-year-old knowing a little bit of karate. It can be a very dangerous thing.
I agree with you.
So the point is not to use every possible transition. Yeah, here's an example of some transitions right now.
Checkerboard,
and,
star wipe.
Right.
Ooh, I don't like that one.
And here's a common one, a page turn. You'll see that like on 60 Minutes maybe if they have a lot of documents. So
sometimes you can use it to tell a part of the story.
Right. Sometimes it's germane, but other times it's just distracting. You want to make sure the transition you're using is necessary for the story you're telling.
Right.
So
a lot of times in a movie, it's all cut. They don't use any transitions.
That's a lot of straight cuts. Or if you watch something like 60 Minutes, it'll be all straight cuts, maybe a dissolve for a lapse of time.
So should I only use straight cuts in my movies?
You should try. You should go for that.
Okay.
See if you can get it done with that. But if you're doing something where you want to show 4 things up at the same time, such as in Time Code,
right,
where they
that
have
was
4
cool.
stories, yeah.
But
And
that becomes part of the movie. It kind of pulls you out of the movie, and you're going, oh, they're doing something cool now.
That's right. So it's an effect with a purpose.
Yeah.
You always want to have a purpose, too.
Right. Now, barn door wipe for no apparent reason.
For no reason is just distracting. Absolutely.
Dissolve, maybe you said if to cover like a transition of time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Or, but sometimes you can do that with a straight cut. If you have a shot of a bird flying, that's a little editor's trick.
See, Diana, look, you're giving away your secrets.
I'm giving away all the secrets here.
Now, you said that telling a story, that's really what you're doing here, isn't it?
The point is to tell the story. And an amateur filmmaker may spend several days working on a scene and might actually pay a bunch of money out of their own pocket to get a location. But then they drop it in the film, and it absolutely doesn't work in the film. And the whole film dies in that moment that it comes to that scene. You got to rip that out.
Oh, but that's how.
If you haven't felt physical pain while you're editing your own film, then you haven't edited it properly.
A lot of times they have the deleted scenes, and some of those scenes are great. Like in Spinal Tap, you're laughing, but you can see why they cut it out because it maybe didn't add to the film.
Right, or it just stops the flow. It's all about the flow. You've got to create a story. Every scene's got to go somewhere, and then every scene together has to go to a final place.
Right.
If you have a great scene, but it doesn't help your story along,
editing
gone.
is the hardest thing, isn't it?
It's really hard.
Sometimes having an editor to help you with that is a good idea.
It's very important. That's
and a
why
second eye.
Yeah, that's why a lot of filmmakers, professional filmmakers, have an editor. They don't generally edit it themselves.
Right.
That way, if they have to tear something out of their film, it's someone else making that decision and talking them into it a lot of times.
It's about being self-indulgent. And that's another category is private jokes. And that's kind of self-indulgent, too.
Yeah, that's very self-indulgent. And, you know, at the end of Cannonball Run, you see all the outtakes and all that. You can save that for your credits.
Right.
But, you know, let's say you're making a film, personally.
Right.
And off-screen, Pat passes wind.
Oh, it happens all the time.
Oh, man. And everyone cracks up.
Right.
But it's really, we don't know as the audience. We haven't heard it. We weren't there. It's not very funny to us.
Right.
It's got to get out.
Cut it out.
That's a sure sign of an amateur film right there.
Private jokes, leave them out. Unless it's for a private audience that gets the jokes.
That's right. If it's for your dad's birthday party, go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with, you know, breaking wind jokes.
Oh, no. People love them.
Diana Brody is an instructor at the Academy of Art College. Here's the website if you want to know more. Do you teach classes people can sign up and go? Or do you have to be a full-time student?
I think actually you do have to be a full-time student, but join up.
Join?
I'd love to have
Sign
you.
up?
Absolutely.
Enlist today.
If you missed anything in today's special, don't worry. Why? Because you can find it all at the Screensavers.com. And, of course, we're not done yet. After the break, we're going to answer some of your top home video questions. That's coming up when the Screensavers continues.
OLM.net presents more true tales from the World Wide Web.
At OLM, our web hosting customers say it best.
Well, I just have an old 56K modem, but it doesn't slow me down any. With OLM, I get all the speed I need. I've been with OLM for over 2 years, and I have never had a question that they could not answer.
Visit OLM today or call 1-877-2OLM-NET. Over 200,000 websites. OLM.net.
Before, after. It's hard to believe I have hair again.
Even a little hair loss was a lot to me.
It's amazing, isn't it? No hair?
Hair. I look horrible in this picture.
If you can't get used to seeing yourself without hair, call Bosley for this free information package. Inside, you'll discover how Bosley uses your own naturally growing hair to fill in the balding areas.
It's not old-fashioned hair plugs. It's completely natural looking.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. Utilizing advanced hair transplant techniques, our highly skilled and dedicated staff pride themselves on providing each and every patient with an unsurpassed level of care, so you can be confident of realizing the right results for you. Picture yourself with hair. Call now or visit our website at bosley.com to find out if Bosley is the right choice for you.
I don't know why I waited so long.
It's not just for men, it's for us too.
Honest to goodness, real hair.
It doesn't even look like myself, does it?
Bosley, the right people, the right experience, the right results.
Think it's hard to lose weight and get in shape? Think you have to go to a gym or exercise so hard it hurts and so long you tire out? Well, think again.
Introducing the Tread Climber by Nautilus, a machine so effective we guarantee results in just 30 days.
In one short workout, the Tread Climber burns twice as many calories as high-tech treadmills.
The secret is the unique dual treadles that let you step up as you move forward, so you do twice the work in one effortless motion.
Get the body you want in half the time.
Now you. It's made in the USA by Nautilus and is backed by a 5-year warranty.
Just 3 short workouts a week on the Tread Climber will get you into the best shape of your life.
Check out the next evolution in home fitness, the Tread Climber. Call now for a free video or DVD, or visit us at nautilusdirect.com today.
Coming up, it's Digital Photography 101. Get tips for taking better pictures from a very professional photographer.
And James Kim reviews digital cams for big and small little piggy banks.
Plus, we got the freshest photo printers on the market.
It's the Screensavers Digital Photography 1-hour special. Today, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific
on the Screensavers. Welcome back to the Screensavers, folks.
We thought it'd be kind of interesting at the end of the show to answer some of your questions specifically about home video editing. Patrick, you've got a few, I know.
Got a good one here from Dr. Mike G. What is the most stable format for saving digitized home video to? AVI, WMF, MPEG, something else? File size he's not really worried about.
You know me, I'm a big fan of non-proprietary open standards, which means MPEG, which nobody owns. You save it to AVI, which is a Microsoft format. I mean, Microsoft's not going anywhere, but I just think that MPEG is more likely to be around. There's going to be more varieties of software that can open it. It's cross-platform, so if you don't use Windows, you can always open it on a Mac. What do you think?
I'm with you on that one. There's 3 things I'd be worried about is one, that you don't want to lose any video quality by storing it in too small a size, but he's good. He's not worried about file size. 2, what Leo says, if it's an open standard, if it's a common standard,
to be compressed, so you want to make it as big as possible, as high quality as possible.
Sounds good. So I'd say MPEG?
MPEG 2.
MPEG 2. Sounds like a good start.
Yeah.
Can a TiVo be used as a replacement for a video capture card on a PC, says Iffy B, or asks Iffy B.
No.
And, well, sort of, but in a long, drawn-out, vicious way.
It's still going to need some analog to digital converter, because there's no,
I mean, you could take it.
You can hack the TiVo.
You know what? You can do it, but you know what? You're going to save yourself a lot of time, pain, frustration, agony, and suffering by just going out and buying a video capture.
You know, I've done it, and it's not worth it. Let's put it that way. Because you have to hack the TiVo so that you can get the digital video out. It means you have to put the TiVo on the network. You have to be running special software on the TiVo. And even then, there's a lot of processing on the PC that you have to do to that extracted video to make it usable. I don't think it's worth it.
All right, here's a quick one. Jeff wants to know, he records a lot of shows like the Screensavers on his HP Media Center PCs.
Yep.
Officially, you're not allowed to burn them onto DVD, but he's wondering if there's any creative ways to burn his files from the Media Center PC.
So the Microsoft Windows XP Home Media Edition does not let you burn DVDs of your video.
That's the official, or the stuff you've captured.
Well, you know, you're running XP, you've got the data files, unless they're hiding them away, and we haven't tried this, so we'll have to do this.